Good, happy Sunday evening. It is Sunday, June 11, 2023. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on RK Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, New York man arrested after allegedly shooting another man in Manchester. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1.
Troy, we just left the scene of that shooting about an hour ago after police took down all that crime scene tape that was all around the neighborhood. But we can show you our video from earlier in the afternoon. Police did confirm to us that a man was hurt in this shooting. A neighbor told us he heard a single gunshot and then saw a man who was bleeding be taken away in an ambulance. Police told us he was brought to a hospital nearby, but we still don't know how he's doing tonight. All evening, police officers were on Orange Street and scattered across the neighborhood. This investigation seems to span blocks. When we initially got to the scene, officers were coming in and out of one of the houses looking for some sort of evidence. We saw clothes and a shoe and a baby carrier all on the ground. We also saw a police canine sniffing around the neighborhood as officers were collecting evidence. But then when we moved a few blocks away, we saw a man be put into handcuffs, patted down, and taken away in a police car. That was on the corner of Chestnut and Blodgett Streets. Police wouldn't confirm whether that man is at all connected to this shooting. And at this point, police tell us there's no active threat to the public. All of this is still under investigation. As we learn more, we'll be sure to bring it to you. We're live in Manchester tonight. Ariel Metropolis, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and we can tell you that man from New York has been arrested after shooting another man. Officials emphasize safety on roads after multiple incidents on Laconia Motorcycle Week opening weekend. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Imagine a world where you can be your own boss and create your own schedule. With a New Hampshire commercial driver's license, you can choose it.
There have, Troy. We saw so many riders on our way up here enjoying this beautiful weather. And you can see they're here in Laconia as well. You can see them and you can definitely hear them. But with more riders on the road, the chances of crashes simply go up. That's what the fire department here in Laconia told us. Motorcycle Week brings tens of thousands of riders and visitors here to the Lakes region every year. The kickoff was yesterday, but the Lieutenant Fire Chief told us they've already seen an increase in the number of motorcycle crashes. And it's not just here in Laconia. We've heard about crashes across the state. Just today, Alton Fire confirmed that 2 people were brought to the hospital after they were in an accident earlier today. He said the crash seemed to have been caused by a ladder, but he wouldn't say how that ladder was involved. And of course, you already mentioned that other crash in Ware as well. Back here in Laconia, the Lieutenant Fire Chief told us he's urging riders to take extra precautions when they hit the road. And rain or shine, these riders will be here all week. So Fire is also urging drivers to be extra cognizant when you're on the road as well. We're live in Laconia. Ariel Metropolis, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sunapee Harbor closed after fuel spill from docked boat. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's time to make your backyard your favorite place to be. Experience hours of family fun and relaxation in a new custom design.
It was pretty overwhelming. Take a close look at the water near the boats. An estimated 75 to 100 gallons of diesel fuel spilled into Sunapee Harbor Saturday night, leaving a rainbow-colored sheen on top of the water. The fire chief says it came from a docked boat, and crews worked with DES to quickly contain the spill, blocking off a dam so it didn't flow into Sugar River.
The first thing we did was contain the river, so contain the water into the harbor. And then we ran our boom, as you can see the orange around the outside, to contain the spill.
Cleanup continued Sunday afternoon and will for a few more days. Officials say there's no threat to the public or the town's water supply, but are encouraging people to avoid the area and use other boat ramps in the meantime. The intake for the town water supply is about 600 feet out, but crews were able to contain the spill closer to shore.
We were all a little nervous about having to be closed too, but we are open.
Rhonda Gurney saw it all happen on Saturday. She owns one of the local businesses in the harbor and says she hopes this won't deter customers.
Business as usual. Finally, the sun is shining after 2 weeks, so we're hoping people will still come.
The town says the harbor will open back up once the area has been completely decontaminated and is approved by DES, with a goal of Wednesday. In Sunapee, Hannah Cotter, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police in Cornish and Plainfield investigate theft of several catalytic converters. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Imagine a world where you can be your own boss and create your own schedule. With a New Hampshire commercial driver's license,
Sullivan County residents, you may want to look under your cars this morning. The Cornish and Plainfield police departments are investigating thefts of several catalytic converters. This happened early morning Friday along the Route 120 corridor. As part of the investigation, officials are looking to identify the owner of this car, which is believed to be an older model Hyundai Elantra. Anyone with information is urged to contact Cornish or Plainfield police.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police searching for 2 of the 5 suspects involved in alleged Litchfield home burglary. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Granite State Solar is more than just a solar company. We're your neighbors, helping you make the energy choice that's...
Morning, Litchfield police are searching for 2 people involved in an alleged burglary on Brenton Street. Responding officers say the suspects fled out the back door when they arrived on scene Friday afternoon. A brief car and foot chase ensued on Charles Bancroft Highway. 3 of the 5 suspects were arrested, but police say a man and a woman involved were picked up in a car which drove toward Hudson.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Vehicle fire causes I-95 collapse in northeast Philadelphia. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Okay, Jake from State Farm, I really want that personal price plan. Mr. and Mrs. Alvarez.
Major interstate collapse in Philadelphia, shutting down traffic in both directions. And just moments ago, Pennsylvania's governor said the disruption could last a number of months. The highway collapsed this morning after a tanker truck carrying hundreds of gallons of fuel burst into flames, creating a trail of black smoke. Officials say the fire is now under control. A massive slab of concrete fell from the interstate onto the road below. Remarkably, officials say no one was injured. But one official said runoff from the fire or possibly broken gas lines were causing underground explosions. Motorists were sent on a 43-mile detour today, and that traffic nightmare will continue into Monday and even longer. ABC's Morgan Norwood leads us off from Philadelphia tonight.
Tonight, part of the East Coast main highway artery, I-95, closed.
Oh my God, the road's fallen.
After a tanker truck fire caused this overpass to collapse in northeast Philadelphia.
This is in the underpass. Something is ignited. Give me 2 more engines.
Authorities responding to reports of the fire just before 6:30 a.m. local time, encountering an inferno raging under the bridge, sending a dark plume of smoke billowing into the sky. This video appearing to show the overpass buckling, cars still driving on the roadway.
You could feel that the bridge was structurally compromised at that point. It was starting to fall.
Authorities say the northbound side of the highway collapsed minutes after their arrival, and they then contained the fire. Remarkably, no injuries reported from the incident.
Today's going to be a long day, and obviously with 95 northbound gone, and southbound questionable, it's going to be even longer than that.
Travel along the busy corridor thrown into chaos with heavy machinery now clearing the debris. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro visiting the site late today, coordinating efforts to untangle a travel headache that could last weeks.
The challenges will be real when it comes to traffic movements in the city as a result of this incident.
Morgan joins us now near the scene of that crash. Morgan, you're learning tonight the impact could be weeks rather than days.
Rachel, that's right. This stretch of I-95 expected to be shut down for an extended period of time. And look, officials telling me today that they're exploring solutions beyond just detours, right? Things like expanding capacity on existing thoroughfares in order to ease the strain on the roads. As for fully rebuilding this bridge right behind me, well, Rachel, we're looking at months. Rachel?
The travel nightmare continues. Morgan Norwood covering that late-breaking news. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we are going to switch gears now, and let's go to meteorologist Haley Lapointe with a weather forecast.
Imagine a world where you can be your own boss and create your own schedule. With a New Hampshire commercial driver's license, you can...
Hi, everyone. I'm meteorologist Haley Lapointe. Here's an update on your Sunday forecast and beyond into the work week. Finally, a warm day. Many of us making a run for 80 degrees, especially through the Merrimack Valley out into the Monadnock region. Temperatures a little cooler in the northern part of the state in the 70s, and same thing right out of the coast, about 72 degrees in Portsmouth this afternoon. We'll see clouds on the increase, but a much brighter day. Should not have any of those heavy thunderstorms that we had move through on Saturday. There's a very small chance of a sprinkle moving through later on in the day, but for the most part, we're going to enjoy some sunshine. Unsettled weather in the central part of the United States eventually moves closer to us as we get into the work week. So even though we get a little break today from the wet weather, it's short-lived. We're back to the storms and just unsettled pattern as we go through the work week. So yes, today, one of the warmer days that we've seen in recent memory, which is really where we should be for this time in June. Our average highs are in the mid to upper 70s. We'll be there on Monday with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, and then it gets a little bit cooler for Tuesday as rain showers likely move through. The other thing we're tracking is wildfire smoke. It's still lurking out there. There's still fires burning up in Quebec and portions of Ottawa too. So you might notice a little bit of a haze in the sky as we go through the day today. This map here showing where you see these darker colors of the yellows and the oranges. That's indicating where you can see some of that haze. And really it's statewide on our Sunday before things kind of dissipate a little bit on Monday and it thins out a little bit, that wildfire smoke. Not expecting any widespread problems in terms of air quality, but it's something you might notice when you're looking up into the sky. It's not that crystal clear blue sky. Now, as we continue on through our Sunday, we see sunshine, increasing clouds in the afternoon, a very small chance of a spotty shower, but no thunderstorm action like we had yesterday. Then as we get into Monday, a mix of clouds and some peaks of sun, and again, a small chance of a passing shower or a brief downpour will move through. A better chance of some showers and downpours overnight and into early Tuesday morning. Look at this. Could be some very heavy rainfall at times on Tuesday and rumbles of thunder before that moves on. But just unsettled with one storm system after another coming through, and it continues that way into the work week as the temperatures go down into the mid-70s by the middle part of the week. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s by week's end.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Haley Lapointe. Thank you for that, Haley. And that did it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on RK Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Good night and goodbye.